Did you know that selling low-priced products on Amazon is essentially dead in 2025? If you're still trying to build an Amazon business around products under like $20, you are probably already feeling the pain. Tiny profit margins, sky-high PPC costs, and brutal competitions making it nearly impossible to stay profitable. By the way, my name is Alan, and I am a 7-figure Amazon seller and a coach who helped over 250 people start and scale their Amazon businesses. And today, I wanted to show you exactly why cheap products are no longer the way to go, and why shifting to a mid to higher ticket products like $35, $50, or even $60 and above is the future on selling on Amazon FBA. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you will clearly understand why selling cheap products is costing you more money and how focusing on higher priced products could potentially transform your Amazon business entirely. Now, let's start with some brutal honesty. The Amazon landscape has dramatically changed. A few years ago, you might be gotten away with selling lower priced items like phone cases, kitchen spatulas, or some basic common accessories that you can find at home. But today, that strategy is killing your business, and you know it too. Here's why. Reason number one is extremely low profit margins. When you sell products priced around like $10 or like $20, your margins are just razor thin. After the product costs, shipping fees, Amazon fees, and packaging, you're lucky that you're making more than $1 or $2 in the profit per sale. And then the second reason is the skyrocketing PPC cost that has just keep on going up year over year. Because advertising used to be cheap, but now like costs have doubled or like even tripled for competitive keywords. Like with average CPC or cost per click rates increasing from 0.85 back in 2020 to right now $1.2 to $1.5 in 2025 for most categories. For a low price product, a single PPC click can eat up your entire profit margin. If your PPC cost per click is like $1 and you're only making $2 profit per product, now 2 clicks without a sale, well then you are already losing money. In competitive niches like home and kitchen, beauty, or electronics, CPC can surge as high as $2 or $3 during peak seasons. And if you are also trying to explore other ad types like sponsored displays, sponsored brands, sometimes CPC are even higher on those advertising campaigns as well. So a high CPC cost making it virtually impossible to maintain profitable on items under $20. Now, the reason number 3 is the intense market saturation for those low ticket products. Everyone and their cousins is just trying to sell cheap products because it seems easy and risk-free. Now, this floods the market. This drives prices even lower and forces sellers into a race to the bottom. Reason number 4 is direct competitions from Chinese manufacturers and Chinese sellers. Chinese manufacturers who previously only supplied products are now selling directly on Amazon itself. They can offer rock bottom prices since they control the entire supply chain. With their direct factory to consumer model, they are able to undercut traditional sellers by 20 to 30%, making it nearly impossible for you regular sellers to compete while maintaining any meaningful profit margins. Now, last but definitely not the least is the bulk order advantages for all those big sellers out there. Now, these manufacturers and big sellers often have massive economics of scales, ordering materials in huge quantities and running large production batches. This means their cost per unit is significantly lower than what small or medium-sized sellers can achieve, allowing them to sustain profitability even at an extremely low price point. Now, the result is that you are barely breaking even, or worse, losing money on each sale. Now, to really make this clear, let's jump into a quick practical comparison, and I'll walk you through a simplified profit analysis to show you exactly how big a difference your price point makes. Now, let's take a look at this specific listing here. So this is a 4-pack large storage basket that is currently pricing at $19.99, but with a 20% discount here. So after discount, this will be priced around $16. So with just $16, you can see how razor thin the margin is. So I went to Alibaba and take a look and see how much this thing actually costs to manufacture, and the manufacturer cost is about $4. Now, as you can see, with $16, this product is just barely making any money. It has about a 13% profit margins, and it nets around $2.11 net profit per unit sold. This is after it applied a 20% coupon. But wait, Amazon also takes a fee every time someone put a coupon on. So this number is even lower. And now Trump has put a tariff on Chinese products for like 125% currently. Imagine after the tariffs, how much profit can be left for this particular product. But let's just still use this as an example without those tariff fees and without the coupon fees. So around $16. Okay, let's just say that your cost per click is about $1, okay? And then an average conversion rate per Amazon listing is around 10% conversion rate. So that means you need to get 10 clicks from a customer to be able to convert into one sale. And let's just say that the cost per click is around $1. So to do this, I can just simply put $1 lower on the price. Now you can see we only got like $1.26 net. Okay, well, let's do it again. Let's drop it down to $14. Well, we got about $0.4 left. Now let's cut it down to even $13. Now you are just losing money now. That means if you have gotten 2 clicks without a sale, the next click will make your product negative. Now imagine you need 10 clicks to convert into one sale. So that means I will have to minus $10 here. And right now I would have to lose about $5.6 on each sales. And right now in this example, I'm just currently assuming the cost per click is about $1, but in reality it could be $1.2. It could be $1.5. That means if this product doesn't sell within 1 click, next click will make this product lose money. That is how terrifying it is for selling low price product like this. So right now, $19.99 may seems to be a pretty good price, a pretty good revenue for you to sell. It doesn't work out that way anymore in 2025. In 2025, let's say you are selling this thing at $20 and each cost per click is about $1.5. 10 clicks is about $15. Now, after $15, you are basically losing $6.47 every time you make a sale. And let's see how much money you have to burn before cutting up to a big competitors like this. Okay, now let's take a look at another example. Okay, now this is a example of this particular product that is selling around. Now $40 product isn't even a really high big margin product. This isn't even a really high ticket product. Now I went again and take a look at the manufacturer costs. The manufacturer cost is about $6 here. Now let's just say that this product cost per click is about $1 and it would take 10 clicks to make a sale. Then let's just minus $10 here, and that will be $29.99. We still have a 20% profit margins after PPC. And if we were able to get a lot of organic rankings and a lot of organic sales, we will be able to make a lot more money with this product. Now let's just say that the cost per click is $1.5 now. So 1.5 times 10, that's around $15. So let's minus $15 here. That will be around $25.99 after the $1.5 cost per click. We still have around 10% margins to work with. To be honest, for PPC, we're not trying to make money from PPC. If it can make money, okay, that's great. But if it doesn't make money, that's fine, because the goal of the PPC is to actually get you ranked up there, is to actually get you more sales, getting more keywords ranking, and getting more reviews at the same time. We're not trying to make a lot of money through PPC, but even now, after 10 clicks, we are still making 10% margins on the PPC sales. Do you now see why it is so much more important to sell a higher ticket product in 2025 now? It is the old way of doing Amazon. Whatever the videos that you watched, the gurus that taught you, it doesn't work anymore. This is the new way to do it. All right, so let's slow down a bit and clearly walk through the pros and cons of each pricing strategies in details, because this decision will literally shape your entire Amazon business. So for low ticket products, that's probably ranging around $10 to $20. What are the pros? Basically, you will have a lower initial investment if you are just trying to order the same amount of products. Because with cheap products, you can often start with a very little upfront cash. Now, this can feel appealing, especially if you are just getting started. It means that you can test the Amazon waters without committing too much money. And oftenly, cheaper products are easier to source and manufacture as well, because cheaper products are usually simple items that can be sourced quickly from suppliers on platforms like Alibaba, manufactured manufacturers already have a bunch of the units actually ready to ship. So this means less complexity when dealing with factories. Now, potentially leading to a quicker lead times and fewer production issues. Now, let's talk about the cons. Why cheap products are a bad idea today? Because of the extremely low profit margins. The lower your product price, the thinner your profit margins is. After subtracting Amazon fees, shipping costs, and production costs, you typically have only like a couple of dollars or even less remaining per unit sold. This leaves almost no room for error or unexpected cost. Now, high PPC costs also destroy the profitability as well. Now, Amazon advertising costs have significantly increased over the past few years. When you're selling low ticket products, just a handful of clicks will wipe out your slim margins entirely. Or worse, put you into a negative profit territory. Also, you will face a very heavy competitions. Because low price product seems easy to start, they attract countless of new sellers, making the competition fierce. Now, this constant influx of competitors leads to price wars and forces you to continually lowering your price just to stay relevant, just to stay at the front page. Now, this will further reducing your profits and making it nearly impossible to scale. Now, this brings us to the next point, which is harder to scale and sustain, because due to a small profit margins, your cash flow is constantly tight. You have less money to reinvest into your inventory or advertising. That will severely limit your growth potential. Even if you are making some initial sales, scaling it becomes incredibly challenging because there's simply not enough profits to reinvest back into growing your business. Now, let's talk about the mid to high ticket products now. That is usually around $30 plus to $60 plus range. The first benefit is that it has a higher profit margins per sale. Higher price products naturally provides you with significantly healthier profit margins, even after paying a higher Amazon fees and advertising cost. You typically have plenty of profits left over to reinvest or keep it as profits. This also means that you have more rooms for PPC advertising as well, because with larger margins, you can comfortably spend more on PPC advertising to compete effectively. Even if your ad costs per click are high, your conversion rate and higher product pricing often makes the PPC campaign profitable. That's right, with high pricing, PPC could be profitable as well. The next pro is less competition and better market positioning. Now, higher price products often have fewer competitions simply because the barriers to entry are higher. Now, this means less saturations, more rooms for you to differentiate your product, your brand, and an easier path to establish yourself as a premium or trustworthy brand. Now, this also gives you a better cash flow, and it is much more easier to scale as well. Larger profits per sales means that more cash available to reinvest back into the inventory, advertising, or new product lines. Now, this dramatically improves your business sustainability, your growth potential, and overall financial health. You can scale faster, invest into building your brand, and create a stable long-term business rather than constantly fighting for pennies of profits. Wow, there are just so many pros, right? Now, the other pro is just a easier inventory management as well. Because when selling higher priced products, you typically manage fewer units to achieve the same revenue. This means simpler inventory tracking, lower storage costs, and reduce the complexity in managing your stock levels. Now, for example, if you sell 100 units at $50, could generate the same revenue as selling 500 units at $10, but with a much less inventory hassle. Now, let's actually get to the cons or challenges worth considering when you're trying to sell a mid to high ticket product. Now, you might be experiencing a higher initial investment. Now, this is going to be a maybe because you are much more likely to be ordering much less units compared to a low ticket product. But let's just say that you are ordering the same amount of units. Now, the main hurdle is that the mid to high ticket products are usually requiring more capital upfront. Now, the product costs, shippings, and spend will be typically higher per unit. This means that your initial financial commitment might feel intimidating compared to cheaper products. You're going to take more risk. But usually, if you are selling a much fewer units than a low ticket items, the overall cost might be around the same actually. Now, you might see an increased risk, but this is also very, very manageable as well. Now, higher cost per unit means a greater financial exposure if your product doesn't sell well. However, the risk can be minimized through thorough market research, validating using tools like Helium 10, and a careful product selection as well. Because trying to be successful on Amazon, 70% of them comes from your product. So validating your product, trying to find the best product possible is key on selling on Amazon. If you want to have my complete product validation checklist where I break down step by step of how I teach my personal clients on how to validate products, I will put a link down below for you to download completely for free. As a thank you, as a gift for watching it till now. Now, here is the final verdict. While the lower investment of cheap products may initially seem attractive, the long-term profitability, scalability, and stability that higher ticket products offers is undeniable. Based on both of my own personal experience and that of my one-on-one mentees, mid to high ticket products are unquestionably the smarter and more sustainable path forward. If you truly want to build a successful Amazon business in 2025 and beyond, focus your efforts on products in the 30s, in the 35s, into the $60 plus range. Your future business and your profits will thank you. Now, personally, I have seen a lot of students coming to my coaching programs after losing money on cheap products. Now, once we find out what the problem is, and once we switch them into a mid to high ticket products, their business become profitable almost immediately. I myself also went through the painful experience of selling low price items early in my journey as well, working twice as hard and barely making any profits. Now, once I raised my pricing and also targeted higher ticket niches, everything just changed. It is so much easier. My profit increased, my PPC became manageable, it becomes profitable, and scaling my business just becomes even easier. So the reality is clear. If you are holding on to the old way of selling cheap products, you are definitely holding yourself back. If you have watched this far, you have probably related to this struggle and you are ready to make a shift. If this is the case, I have something special for you. I run a high-touch one-on-one Amazon mentorship program designed specifically to help struggling Amazon sellers turning their failing FBA business into a thriving money printing machine in just 90 days. So you can skip years of expensive trial and errors. Now, this isn't just a generic course, it is a direct mentorship. It is a hands-on support and a personalized guidance based on what actually works. Because I take my mentorship seriously and want to ensure each client get the attention they deserve. I can only take on 5 clients at a time, and this allows me to provide the detailed and personalized supports needed to truly transform your Amazon business. If you want more information or you are ready to finally start selling higher ticket products that actually makes money, click the link below and apply for it. We will discuss your business goal, take a look at your current situations, and see if you are a good fit. There's no pressure, just genuine guidance if you are ready to level up your Amazon business. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, cheap products on Amazon might be tempting, but they are no longer sustainable in 2025. Shift your mindset, raise your price points, and build a real profitable Amazon business. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'm always here to help. I will see you in the next video. Happy selling, and bye-bye.